what's up you guys, it's Jessica, and today I'm going to be showing you all the books that I read in August. I had a pretty good reading month in August. I read a total of 7 books, which to me that's pretty good because 3 of these books were over 500 pages, and I'm very proud of that. The first book that I read in August, I'm literally at the point of almost saying September. I don't know, August was really long and I just wanted to get it out of my mind. The first book that I read was Twilight by Stephenie Meyer. This is the first book in the Twilight series. I read this for the first time and I had so much nostalgia. I just remembered all the movies and everything felt so good. I gave this a 2 out of 5 stars. This made me realize a lot about my reading taste. All of these books made me realize what I do and what I do not like in books. This made me realize that I hate the bad boy trope. I fucking hate it. I hated Edward. I hated how he literally looked as Bella as weak. Yes, I get it. He is immortal and she is not, but that does not mean shit. Bella is smart in certain situations. Edward doesn't take her opinions into consideration, and that got me so annoyed. Bella as well was really stupid sometimes, and she was dull, but that wasn't really something surprising because she's kind of dull in the movies as well. Overall, this was okay. I don't know if I will be continue on with the series. I think if I just get the audiobooks, then maybe. They're really quick to read. They're easy. Not the greatest writing, but yes, I hate the whole bad boy trope. It's just it's so annoying. The next book that I read was The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I really enjoyed this. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. This was so good. The writing is so quick and easy to read. That's one thing I love about Nicola Yoon. I love her writing. It's just good. And I really liked how she wrote this, how she had a bunch of side characters. I really don't know how to describe it because we have our 2 main characters, and as we follow them, there's people around them, and then we get their point of view. And that was one of my favorite things about this book, and I think that's a lot of people's favorite part about this book because it's so interesting. I didn't tell you what this book is about. This follows Natasha, who is a Jamaican immigrant, and it follows Daniel, who is Korean American, and they meet right before Natasha is about to get deported. They fall in love. They try to figure out what's going on. Yes, it is insta-love, and obviously I don't know, I don't feel like it should be a problem because we know going in that it's insta-love. But it's just it's more than that at the same time. It doesn't just deal with the whole fact of insta-love. It's just there's so much going on and I love it. The next book that I read was The Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling, the 3rd book in the Harry Potter series. I love this. I enjoyed this more than the first time that I read this about 2 years ago. The audiobook was so good. I love the narrator, Jim Dale. He was really good. When I first read this, I said that the first couple hundred pages were really boring, and it gets interesting during the last 100 pages, and I still feel that way. The last 100 pages, it gets super intense, but I feel there's so much depth into this. There's so much going on, and this novel is so dark, and it's good. The next book that I read was Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I'm holding the Assassin's Blade because Queen of Shadows is literally in the bottom of a book pile, and this was on the top, and I didn't feel like getting a lot of movement. Queen of Shadows was really good. I have mixed emotions with it. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I still don't know if that's how I feel about it, to be honest. I think a 3.5, 4 stars. I don't know. I'm trash for this series. I have so many complaints with this series, but I still enjoy reading it. Dorian. I love Dorian. I have a book talk filmed. I just still need to edit it, and I'll have it up soon. I don't know when, but once I do, I'll link it down below. But overall, I don't like the writing style. I realized that while reading this. I don't like how it's in third person point of view. I feel like that's kind of like a drawback because sometimes it changes point of view a lot, and I feel like it gets confusing between who's who. Sometimes you can tell and sometimes you can't, and that's one of the things about the writing style that I don't like. I also realize that I hate romance and novels. Sometimes it's cute and sometimes it's unnecessary. I feel like in here it's completely unnecessary and it takes away from the action. Like, I feel like Sarah J Maas puts romance as number one and then the plot. It just takes away from it, and it's just not necessary in my opinion. And I hear that starting in Queen of Shadows that Sarah J Maas includes more sex scenes. Like, I think in Empire Storms it's going to get more detailed, and that's something I'm not looking forward to. Like, I really don't think it adds to it. I feel like it's just filler. I believe that with the whole romance in here, it's just filler to have like an extra like plot line. The next book that I read was actually like my least favorite book of this whole month, and it's the biggest book that I read, and that's the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling. I borderline hated this book. I was so bored with this book, and I felt like it dragged on so much. This book is 734 pages, and I enjoyed probably at least 300 pages out of all of that, and I do not think that's how I should feel. When you hear someone talk about the Harry Potter series, you always hear how these books go in more depth than the movies, and that is not a lie. It's just too much detail. My friend, when I first started reading the Harry Potter series, she told me that she couldn't get past the first book because there was way too much detail, that it just took the experience away from her, so she just didn't read the books. And at first I was just like, no, and now I see it. The last 10 chapters were so good, and it makes me excited for these other books, like the last 3, because the Goblet of Fire is obviously like a change of direction of how these books are gonna go. And I feel like the next 3 are going to be like a whole change of mood and a scenery, and I'm so excited, obviously, because we have Voldemort now, and even though we had him in the first 2, it's going to be completely different. In here they describe to you how it was when Voldemort was first there, and it's just like, it's scary. I'm really excited to see what's to come. The next book that I read was Cinder and Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. These are the first and the second book in the Lunar Chronicles series. I gave Cinder a 3 out of 5 stars, and I gave Scarlet a 4 out of 5 stars. These were both rereads for me. When I first read this, I thought Cinder was very predictable, and so was Scarlet, but I feel like this was much better. I read these through the audiobooks, and the audiobooks were so good. If you want to read these, listen to the audiobooks. Muy bueno. I love the characters in these. I love Cinder. She's one of my favorite characters. I love Prince Kai. I think he's super cute and super sweet. I love princes. I don't know what it is. Like, Prince Arthur from Merlin, Dorian, and Kai are like my favorite people. Like, they're practically like the same person, but they're different. I didn't like Scarlet that much. Like, I thought she was badass, but she was sometimes annoying. I love Thorn. He's my new favorite character. Like, I love Cinder and I love Thorn, and I feel like they make an incredible duo. I can't wait to finish this series. That is one of my goals for this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can already tell how fun these are going to be. But yes, those are all the books that I read. I feel like I had a pretty good reading month despite like my feelings through some of them. I don't know how it's gonna be in September because I am in school and I'm like dying. I feel like I haven't read anything, but I have. I started a book about 2 days ago. I started reading Carrie by Stephen King because I am in such a mood for a horror thriller novel. It's driving me crazy, but I'm really excited. Like, Stephen King right now, like, I know he has like the best horror slash thriller novels, and I'm like in such a mood to read all of his books. I want to read all of them. I really want to read Carrie, It, and The Shining. Hopefully I could do that by the end of the month. I feel like September is going to be like a really big Stephen King month. I really pray that I really do read all Stephen King. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!